am Jenny Fletcher, and I am now a professional athlete, triathlete. And I actually started, there's a story, when I was younger I basically did a lot of sports, and I started the sport called modern pentathlon, which is run, swim, shoot, fence, and ride, and I needed to do it all, basketball, volleyball, track. And then I started modeling at 15, and my life kind of went a different direction. And at first when I was modeling in Milan, or I was traveling, I'd take my fencing bag and all my sports equipment because I wanted to be this athlete. And I remember actually, specifically at 15, I was in New York with Eileen Ford, and she asked me a bit about myself, and I told her I did sports. And she told my agent, she's like, this girl wants to be an athlete. And he kind of was like, she can do both. And you know, that was kind of like something that I look back on, and now 20 years later, I was kind of a few years ago going through this, not midlife crisis, but kind of like, what am I doing with my life? I'm getting older, I'm still modeling, it's amazing, but what's after this? And it kind of, everything came full circle, and it's a long story, but next thing you know, I decided to pursue my dream of when I was a little girl of being a professional athlete. So now I'm into my second year of being a professional triathlete, and I've given up my whole life to pursue this dream, and I'm having the time of my life.
And as far as competition, what do you have upcoming in the next year or so?
Oh, in the next year? A lot of races. I have a race coming up in 2 weeks. I was actually just in Europe training and racing and doing some stuff for my sponsors, and I got a little bit run down just because I was racing. And so since I've been home, I've been trying to get over this cold, and I'm finally better, and I'm going to start training again hard. But so then coming into this race in 2 weeks, I'm not really where I want to be, so I'm going to just use it as a training race. And then my big races, like the ones I'm really looking into, are in August and September. So I have time to build into those. But in the meantime, you still need to keep racing to keep performing. I have a lot of goals. We're just starting. I feel like I'm just starting this whole venture, and being my second year, I have so much to learn, but it's been amazing. I'm just loving kind of life and where I'm at. Yeah.
And then from a sportswear apparel perspective, are there certain items of clothing or materials that you specifically like to work out in, or that you think result in a better workout?
You know, from being a little girl and always being active, and I think when I first was doing sports, at that time, I was always like, there's nothing great in active apparel. And at that time, you know, Nike was coming out with some pretty cool concepts, and that was like 10, 50, you know, and then all of a sudden it seems like all these companies started coming out with more feminine, like, hey, you know what? Being a feminine active woman is something to be proud of, and that fashion, you can be fashionable while working out. And I've been now with Oakley, this is my third year with them, and this year was the first year they asked me to be part of the active apparel, and I'm serious, I can't tell you. It's not just because they're what I'm fully clothed in, but their stuff is phenomenal, and they've also asked me, like, what do I want to, why I like to run in, or what, for me being a triathlete, like what sports bras, t-shirts, and their line, especially what they're coming out with next year, is, I mean, not only can I wear it to the grocery store, or pre-workout, but I can throw something on after they've created pre and post workout kind of items, and that's kind of key to being a woman. You don't want to just, and their stuff that I'm working out in is, I get comments all the time, and I love it because a lot of my athletes I train with, they're like, what, that's Oakley too? And they're like, you have everything. And it's just like, just to be proud to be an Oakley athlete and to be wearing apparel, sunglasses that are just fashionable and you look good in, and that are they breathe, they're sweat, you know, all the things that you would need in athletic apparel, they're nailing, and they're continuing to grow and change, and that's something that I love to be part of.
And which Oakley pieces are your favorites, whether it's eyewear or apparel?
Well, I'm a little obsessed with eyewear, and I have quite a lot of pairs now because they keep sending me all these, they keep coming out with, you know, Oakley used to be known for their sports sunglasses, and now they've got some of the best feminine women's sunglasses, and I'm showing up at events in my Oakleys, and I'm not just talking like sports events, but fashion events, and wearing Oakleys, whereas that was something that I think that's relatively, people are like, wow, Oakley's got those, and wow, and I'll be like, yeah, check out their line, because we have some amazing, they have some, so I mean, I guess I'm in love with the glasses. But I'm actually in love with all their clothes. They have amazing lifestyle selection. Their swimsuits, their bikinis, phenomenal. Like, they just sent me a bunch of them, and then all the stuff that I'm training in, I can't pick one piece because I kind of like it all. Their colors, they're just on. They've got it all. I can't pick one thing.
And then just lastly, outside of your sport, when you're not competing, what generally is your personal style like?
I get asked this a lot, and actually, I'm pretty much a jean / tank top or t-shirt kind of girl in flip-flops. However, because I'm a fashion girl and I love fashion, I love fashion. So I have like a whole closet of, right now I'm into dresses, because I think being an athlete, it's like, I just love throwing on a dress. It's something simple, it's something that's sexy and beautiful, but simple, and it's not, I mean, they're not over the top, but just a beautiful dress and some sandals, and my hair is not always down, but like just being a woman, earrings, rings, bracelets,